morning and welcome to Enterprise Friday on Enterprise Television. I am Kende Bodun.
And I am Henry Igwebike.
All right, we are delighted to start the day with you. As always, we begin with a quick look at today's newspaper headlines before diving into the major conversation of the day. Trust me, you don't want to even, miss out from this. You can also join our conversation by liking, following us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. So today we have Emeka Madnagu to share more light to the issues we have at hand. He is a journalist and a public affairs analyst. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Emeka.
Yeah, good morning, my pleasure. Good morning.
Yeah, beautiful.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday and penultimate month to the end of the year. This is December.
Yes.
All right, but let's get to see what we have from our newspapers. The Guardian newspaper, it is this morning, and we have big story: armed attacks intensify as Tinubu okays U.S.-Nigeria security plan.
Okay, we also have how renewed terrorism exposes old weak security underbelly.
And also we have IG claims 11,566 police officers withdrawn from VIPs, orders intelligence policing.
Okay, we have reps vote on constitution review on December 10.
And also Nigeria's transition to multi-tier electricity market attracts over $2 billion US.
And the
investment.
last headline we have here, we have democracy under strain as fresh coup eats West Africa draws condemnations.
And Mega, I love us to go international, of course, not very far, just within the sub-region, and that is Guinea-Bissau. The coup that just happened there. Luckily, our former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, was whisked out of that country by the supposed military coupists in the country. What do you think is the fresh information that we need to know about?
Yeah, okay. The military has consolidated. The new head of the UNTA, the head of the military UNTA, has been sworn in. He has been inaugurated, and then they are the president Mbalomo, has gone to. I think he has flown to Senegal. The same thing with his main challenger. His main challenger, has gone into. He has gone into hiding. His main challenger has gone into hiding. The previous main challenger, who was barred by the Supreme Court from running, has been arrested. Has been arrested. I don't know why. Seems the military wants to, crack down on the political class, because the main challenger said, he alleged that, that the president who fled to Senegal, that he was the one who organized the coup because he was on the verge of losing the election. So that he organized that is not a coup, that is just an unorganized takeover of power. That he had got 52% of the votes, but that they now look for a way to prevent him from being inaugurated. By the way, the Electoral Commission was on course to announce, the results when, this coup took place. And the coupists are claiming that drug barons were, trying to hijack the country's political process. So and then yesterday, on Thursday, President Bola Tinubu and his colleagues, had a virtual meeting. Where they discussed the situation. And of course, they've demanded a return to democracy. But you know, so far so good. So far so good. You know, the country is still in a limbo. You know, so far, well, so good. Thank you.
Okay. So, do you think the coup was Do you think it is? Do you think it is military backed, or it's just politically triggered?
Especially given what the opposition said, that the current president organized that because he felt he was losing out on the elections.
Well, we don't know yet. It's still early days to know what really happened because the opposition leader is the main challenger was the one who made that allegation. You know, but of course it should be noted that it's unfortunate the way many politicians in Africa have continued to treat democracy. Yes, some people say that democracy is alien to Africa, but that's a lie. It is because they don't even know their history. If you go to ancient Africa, we had democratic societies in ancient Africa. As a matter of fact, Africa taught the Greeks. Africa taught the Greeks. We say democracy emanated from the Greeks. It's not true. It's not true. Because, for instance, Igbo, in the Igbo society, in the ancient Igbo society, there was democracy. There was democracy. So, I mean, when we say democracy is alien to Africa, let's go and check our history. I'm a historian. The only thing is just that the kind of positions we have in Nigeria, in Africa, don't respect the rule of law. They don't respect, they don't respect the rule of law. They don't respect the rule of law. They don't respect the constitution. They don't respect the electoral processes. And that is why you are having all this chaos in Africa. Even in Nigeria, look at what is happening. How the government, how President Tinubu's administration is destabilizing opposition parties. Getting governors to defect, even in defiance of the constitution. So what it means is that the military is still an integral part of, the ruling process in Africa, in many African countries. And that should not be. So if truly this was organized by the president, well, it should be that if ECOWAS and the AU, because the man who was sworn in, the former chief who was sworn in, was inaugurated, he said he's just leading a transition for 1 year. But if pressure can be brought to be on the former president should not return. He should not return at all. He should not return at all. You cannot benefit from, the subversion of democracy allegedly engineered by you. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Emeka. Maybe let's get to see what's happening from the Punch newspaper for today. Safe Schools project stalls in 30 states as abductions rise.
We also have NNPCL spends 17.5 trillion naira securing full pipelines, others in 12 months.
Business leaders reject proposed beverage tax hike.
Okay, we also have, it's taking the big story there. Okay, we have Nigeria condemns Guinea-Bissau coup, Jonathan evacuated on special flights.
Emeka, NNPCL spends 17.5 trillion securing fuel pipeline, others in 12 months. Emeka, that budget is close to the budget of some countries in Africa. Madagascar and other little countries should have this as their total budget for the year. And we have an NNPC using this same money, 7.5 trillion naira in 1 year to secure our pipeline. How much then is remaining? After everything is said and done with the profits and all.
You remind me of a joke that was told one time of one Igbo man who was dying in the hospital, And when he opened his eyes, he saw his wife, he saw his children beside him, and he asked them, he said, Chukuma, you there here? Papa, you there here? Namdi, you there here? He now said, who called this shop? So, that's just by the way. Now that tells you 17 trillion. Look, what was the highest budget of the former administration of Muhammad Buhari? What was the highest budget? It was more than 10 trillion. That is 1/3. That's 1/3 of even the current budget of 48 billion. That's about 1/3 of the current budget. You see, we have said it again and again. But the fact is that these people will never listen. They won't listen. If you take that money will build. How much was used to build the Dangote refinery? Was it $20 billion?
Yeah, less.
How much was it at that time? Now, the Petroleum Industry Act says that the NNPC should be taken to the stock exchange. It should be privatized. It should be taken to the stock exchange. Why are they delaying? The GMD of NNPC, Major-General, said some time ago that it was about to be done, that they were going to do it. Then he came up later, some weeks later, to say no, that the NNPC would revive the refineries. We just keep plunging money into a black hole. There's the theory of the sunk cost, where you spend and spend and spend. And that's we spent so much, we can't stop sinking money. Let's just continue. Come on, where are you heading to with that? Where are you heading to with that warped projection? So NNPCL should be sold. You are paying mercenaries you call private security contractors. You are paying them to secure your pipelines. But even at that, has our production got to the OPEC quota of 2.2 million barrels per day? No. So at what point? The former administration of Buhari, Muhammad Buhari, gave out a lot of our oil as forward sales, pledged our oil, mortgaged our oil for loans. So, and by the way, the production sharing contract says that it's a JV between NNPCL and the oil majors, 60-40. So the oil majors get it, when they drill the oil, it's 60-40. Now they are leaving the onshore fields, and they are going offshore. They are going offshore, where it is safer for them and easier for them to do business. So why are we now wasting all this money to secure pipelines? Let me tell you, if you build modular refineries in different parts of the country, allow Dangote to be exporting his products. Let him export his products. He's in a free trade zone. Let him export his products and make the money he puts into the refinery. Instead, build modular refineries in different places. Like there is one now being built in Cocoa in Delta State. And the government says they call it Ebenco oil. Now it's a 30,000 barrels per day, a modular refinery. And the government says that, I think the Minister of State for, petroleum, said the other day, I think when we said that it was a game changer, that it will help in terms of stopping vandalism of pipelines, in terms of, those illicit refineries, causing soot and all of that in the Niger Delta. Now, why not encourage more of that here and there? NNPC had the NMDPRA, sorry, not the NMDPRA. There's this other agency, that does that promotes local content. They actually invested 20% in refineries under the former Buhari administration. Now, if you were to do that, encourage modular refineries in different places in the oil-producing states. Now, they should be by 11, with the addition of Anambra states, as an oil producer. So, if you encourage modular refineries across these places, and then you can even distribute, overland. You can distribute with tankers. So why are we spending so much money, wasting so much money, pumping money down a black hole? It needs to stop. It has to stop. NNPC should be sold. All those refineries and all those depots and all that should be sold. Let them be sold. Let them be sold. There are other critical sectors that need that need investment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's look at the Vanguard newspaper, Henry. So there's a story here I would want us to take.
Okay.
So gunmen attack Ingige's convoy in Anambra, kill one and injure others. Wow. So in fact, this, first of all, I would need to say for this, these gunmen, I don't know, the gunmen issue, bandits, terror. In fact, I think
we don't even know who to run from, who to run away from right now.
But I think they are still under the word terrorism.
Yes, yeah,
right?
Yeah,
so they are terrorists, yes. So there is this question I would like to push out here. I have to put it down so I won't forget.
So
we are doing
yes, just before you get that question, Mecca, let's see to this particular story. We all thought that all of this would have ended in Anambra. We don't see much of that in Abia, in Enugu, in Ebonyi. Though we can see skirmishes in Imo, but more in Anambra. What do you think is happening here in Anambra, most especially?
Well, sadly, this incident took place in my town, Ngige, and Ngige, is from Alo. If you are coming from Onitsha, you pass through Umpo, you will enter my town, a part of my town before you now turn left into Ngige's town. So just before he got to that point where he detour to his town, although he was attacked. And the lady in my hometown was shot. I don't know what motivated her to be recording people who were shooting, and she was shot dead, which is very sad. The elections just held. The November elections just held. So, if you recall, Ngige, even though he's still in APC, he declared support for Soludo, for the incumbent governor, Professor Chukuma Soludo, who eventually won. So, I don't know if we can say it's related. Maybe it's a fallout from the election. I don't know. But sincerely speaking, it is not yet Uhuru in the south, even in Anambra. The current commissioner of police, Orotugu, is really doing a lot. He's doing very well. He's doing far better than many of his predecessors. If you remember, under the former governor, Obiano, I think there were about 5 or 7 commissioners of police within the 8 years that he spent as governor. But now, things are improving. So I hope that the state command will the state police command has not sent anything yet, but I want to believe that they are on top of the situation, and those, that they will apprehend those behind it. But I suspect it is can you hear me? I suspect it is, it may be linked to political violence. Thank you.
Okay.
It's actually very sad.
Very, very sad. And the question we're going to ask is based on regional security, right? So what does this attack reveal about the rising political violence, in the southeast?
It's not as if it is rising. The elections have come, the governorship election has come and gone, but I'm just suspecting that may not be the reason why he was attacked. It's just a possibility. And another thing is that it may also have been an opportunistic attack. Because that very area has witnessed some attacks in the past. Okay. If you recall, that was where the headless body of one of the lawmaker representing the constituency of the governor, Umasoludo. That's where his headless body. I think it was it. I think it was his. Yeah, I think it was around there. I think either he was kidnapped in that place, and I think his body was found in another town or something. So that area is a bushy kind of area. because the federal government did some reclamation there. So government planted cashew trees. There are a lot of cashew trees. So it's a lonely spot. It's a lonely stretch of about maybe 2 kilometers. You know, the lonely stretch. Then as you just get out of the place, you come into, you know, the edge of my town. So I think the government needs to do something about that area. Whether, yeah, there's a police station in that place, but maybe the government, you know, needs to set up a security formation around that area, you know, so that, yes, you have the state vigilance corps. They have a checkpoint, you know, around that place. But, you know, the state government may need to really step down on these opportunistic characters. Because some of them actually even come from other states.
Yeah.
They'll just cross the border, look for, you know, the vehicle to snatch, and then kidnap the owner, you know, so that they can demand ransoms. So I think I want to believe that the perpetrators will be caught. Maybe they saw a convoy, you know, and they felt, okay, let's grab this person, let's kidnap this person and collect his, you know, let's kidnap this person so that we can get some money. Maybe some criminals who have run out of money and just saw a convoy, you know, they felt they could attack, you know. I mean, if you look at it, it was the girl who was doing a video that was shot and killed. Otherwise, you know, I mean, they only injured the security personnel in the convoy, were only injured. So if they wanted to kill them, don't know if they would have gone ahead to kill them. So it might be a fallout of the recent election or an opportunistic attack because it was a convoy. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. It's actually quite disturbing that we're having this in Nigeria at a time when other countries are thinking and hoping to get investments in billions from other countries, other individuals, building plants, employing their people, growing the GDP of the country. We are still struggling with banditry, with criminal acts and activities all over the place, and having politicians that don't even care because most of them have dual citizenship. If push comes to shove, they will not be here with us. I don't have dual citizenship. I have the green passport only, right? So it means that we are only the ones left here when push comes to shove. But of course, that's not what we wish for our country. And just to let you know, Emeka, we'll be here to take us on our main conversation, and that's when we return. Nigeria not ready for private gun ownership. Njoku speaks out. That in the beat is still Enterprise Friday. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back.